They started his heat race for Bubba Stewart. The key was the center section of the berm here in turn 1, how he rocketed through there.
Bubba Stewart with a very, very bad jump, but watch, he'll manage to salvage the inside and comes out with the hole shot. Unbelievable for James Stewart. Josh Hansen in second with Blows in third.
Well, we have definitely seen this picture before. James Stewart out in front and pulling away in the first lap of the race.
Well, the young phenom that everyone's been wanting to watch is Davey Millsap. Suzuki's put a lot of energy into this man. He's riding great, but now he's got a good start sitting in third position, and Davey had some very, very strong lap times in his practice and also in heat race.
Working on second position, the number 68 Joshua Hansen is coming under attack from young Millsap, while James Bubba Stewart has taken out his crayons once again and says, color me gone.
Right, these two riders, two young riders, like I said earlier, Josh Hansen, son of 1982 Supercross champion Donnie Hansen, so he's got a lot of knowledge in that camp, and he's also riding for one of the most decorated secondary teams, Yamaha of Troy.
So on the 68 machine, it is Hansen. On the 188, David Millsap. That's second and third places right now. And in the distance, you can see James Bubba Stewart just disappeared from the screen. Here comes Millsap for second. He's got it. And Hansen can't return the favor on that left-hander.
Davey Millsap's also one of these riders from down south. You know, he trains with Ricky Carmichael all the time. Him and Travis Pastrana going back and forth while Travis was down here training. So Davey Millsap's running strong in second place. Now let's see if we can chase down Bubba.
The Samsung-sponsored rider, number 83, Michael Blows, running in fourth position to keep track of where everybody is right now. Bubba Stewart's out in front. We're watching young Millsap make a big jump there, just ahead of the rider from whom he took second position, Joshua Hansen. And off we go again.
James Stewart first lap, a 1:11. Davey Millsap's coming in with a 1:14, but he did have to deal with traffic. So let's see what these lap times do. Remember, Davey Millsap's just turning 16. This is his third race, so he's definitely living up to the image and also to the promise that everyone's looking at.
One lap down of 15 scheduled here in this main event. James Bubba Stewart out in front on the green, number 259 machine. There is the 16-year-old. That is Millsap's. On his Suzuki, we got a rider down and off the racetrack, and I think that's Lampson, the winner of the other heat winner, and his bike is lying on the course. The marshals are indeed waving yellow flags. We got a massive pileup, and some riders, including Andrew Short, taking real serious evasive action off the racetrack.
Yeah, it's hard to see because from here it looks really smooth. Here you'll see Steve Lampson comes up a little bit short, clips the front, then the back, then gets tipped over the jump and then lands right into the face of it. As you can see him, he's trying to catch his wind. He doesn't look like a real hard hit, but trust me, people, now watch the other riders. They come over, they can't see the bike down on the ground, and another rider in, and then another rider in. So Steve Lampson and the other guys up, but definitely a tough place. Riders can't see through there.
And the safety workers were immediately on the scene with waving yellow flags, but in spite of that, there was an impact zone, and a couple of riders found it. James Bubba Stewart, out in front right now, knows nothing of what has gone on behind him. And his second lap, also a 1:11, while everybody else is doing 12s, 15s, or slower.
Yeah, but also I want to, you know, in this racing, you know, anything can happen. We've seen Lampson on the ground, but Brock Hepler, second points, very strong in his rookie year, got into a tussle. We saw him fall down, also fell down on the last chance. He's not in this main event. So
the second place points man has just given an even bigger points lead to James Bubba Stewart out there right now for the championship. We're only this is round 4 of the 125E Supercross Series. There's the number 83 of Michael Blows out of Phoenix, Arizona. He is running in 4th position right now. The 59 of Danny Smith is 5th.
A little bit of heritage. I used to race with his uncle, Chappie Blows, and his dad, Bobby Blows, were two of the powerhouses from Phoenix, Arizona. So second generation Blows racer, definitely running strong tonight.
3 laps in, and James Bubba Stewart already has almost an 8-second advantage. 5.5 seconds at the end of the third lap, but he's pulled it out even more than that. Another battle a little bit deeper in the field for 6th.
But if you take a look at the distance between Millsaps and the rest of the group, Millsaps is definitely holding his own.
So it is Millsaps in second position. If it is a distant second from James Bubba Stewart, you can't hold that against him. Hardly anyone's been able to keep the young man on the number 259 machine close, and that's the way it is here tonight.
It's Suzuki Fest 2004. Visit your Suzuki.
If he wins the race. So there's a little bit of mystery that's left here for James Bubba Stewart to show the fans at Daytona He's out in front right now with about a 10-second advantage over second place, and that is the youngster, number 188, David Millsaps, who in turn has a fairly large lead over third place. I'm impressed with this youngster on the Suzuki.
Yeah, Davey Millsaps is living up to the hype. He's working with Ronnie Tishner, a past 125 champion, and doing a great job with him. His family has Millsaps training, but now we're going back to this dice for sixth place with Eric Sorby and also Ryan Mills. These two riders, young, aggressive riders. We should see some paint swapping.
Well, there's three of them out there, and they're all three different colored motorcycles, so who hits who should be easy forensics at the end of this one. We'll watch and see what happens. The battle for sixth position, and it's steaming up. Here they go up across the finish line jump.
You got Danny Smith, you got Eric Sorby, and Ryan Mills. All three of these riders very aggressive, very hungry, so we should see some it should be ask no quarter, give no quarter.
And it is actually a battle for fifth now that they have moved up to the vicinity of the 59 bike of Smith. So there's a lot at stake here in this 125 main event.
If you're wondering about the two-stroke, four-stroke battle, Danny Smith, who just got passed by Eric Sorby. Sorby's on a two-stroke, Danny Smith on a four-stroke, and Ryan Mills is one of those riders that's on a two-stroke.
Whoa, mistake there by the third rider in that battle, but he recovered nicely as Sorby takes some big air there on the number 917 machine. That Pro Circuit sponsored bike. And the first two riders in the race, to follow up on your two-stroke comment, are also on two-stroke machines.
Danny Smith getting back by Eric Sorby, maybe being a little bit tight, a little cautious. He worked so hard to get by Smith. Now Smith jumping right back by him. And this is right, on this kind of jump right there is where Smith has a big advantage with the torque of the four-stroke. And that you can see the distance that he pulled. Sorby made such a mistake that Ryan Mills shot by him as well.
Joining in the fun is Ryan Mills at number 44, indeed, as he's up there with that yellow shirt. As, we got a stalled out rider, it's Sorby.
Sorby running in. Sorby's one of those riders that showed when he gets frustrated, starts taking some desperate moves. Unfortunately, right there, he just took a chop at him, didn't have the move, ran into the back of Mills.
So Danny Smith leading Ryan Mills right now for position, and it is fifth.
Mills with position on the inside. See if he can force his way through there.
Best race on the track right now. We go back and try to find them for you. The top three have spread out pretty much, but these two, Smith and Mills, are really going at it. Side by side, Mills takes the position away once again.
Mills running very, very strong. He got into an altercation last week. He got in trouble. You know, AMA doesn't like the riders fighting, but him and another rider got into a little disagreement and a little fist fight on the track. But right now, good, clean racing. Those guys are strong in battling this track.
And we're at halfway, whereby Bubba Stewart also already leads by 17 seconds at the halfway mark. So another runaway is in progress. Whether he'll be able to complete it, we don't know. Greg?
Yeah, a report on Steve Lampson, who crashed earlier and pretty hard. He said he banged his head. He was feeling a little bit groggy. Other than that, all the limbs are working properly. Brian?
All right, that's good to hear, but he did auger in. Didn't look all that bad. But gravity never sleeps, and here we got two very different lines on that dark berm right there, and well, Sorby is really thrashing, it seems.
Yeah, Sorby was able to get past Danny Smith one more time. This is the third time he's passed him, so now there's a little gap between there. The one thing about this Daytona track is you see as soon as a rider gets past, they spread out very, very fast, because a lot of times you're racing that track, you make a small mistake, and if another rider does it, he's going to pull 4 and 5 seconds in one lap, which turns out to be about 10 bike lengths.
Eric Sorby running in 6th, Smith running in 7th. Back to the leader who just skated past a lap rider. That's number 259, James Bubba Stewart, on his way to victory. We don't know that for sure yet. Ralph Shaheen. Ralph. Okay. We'll get back to Ralph Shaheen in just a moment. He had something to say and then ran off. Real quick, we're watching James Bubba Stewart working his way through traffic.
Brian, we were talking earlier about the heat races. When Bubba got out in front, he was trying a lot of different stuff, but now you can see why it's paying off, all them lapped riders.
And as Stewart went by the number 87, that was Jeff Gibson out of Westerville, Ohio. That leaves only 12 riders on the lead lap with James Bubba Stewart. Is this kid something? Bubba Stewart, who has made a tiny little mistake a while ago that might have cost him a half second to a full one. But other than that, he has been flawless out there. Rick Johnson, and with a 27-second lead, he could actually coast in. But you know what? David Millsaps is keeping him closer than a lot of riders have all season long.
Well, David Millsaps, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, you don't believe the hype. He had a tough first couple races, but Davey Millsap, is keeping him within view. Obviously, he's not within striking distance, but the 16-year-old kid is running a very great race. James Stewart out in front. His only competition right now is the Daytona Supercross track.
Well, he was working it pretty well, but he did make a very small mistake that could have been a big one. Now he's really got that bike working hard. He's back up to speed. Take a look at what happened to him about a lap ago.
You can see he misses the power by a little bit. That could have been a huge mistake. Another angle looking at that as he comes down, bike gets down, and he just skates across the top. But you know what, though? As much riding and play riding and free riding as James Stewart does, looking at it from the back, he gets forward. As he comes down, loses the back a little bit, front goes down, and he skips over. I think that's due to his ability to adapt and do so many things. You ought to see him on a mini bike, on a 110, the tricks that he can do. You know, I mean, he's like a freestyle rider on this, so that definitely helps when his acrobatic riding style.
Very exciting young man, right, Greg White?
Absolutely. And just after that mistake was made, he came by where they hold out the pit boards, and it said, focus, because on the headsets, his team heard that he made that big mistake, and they're trying to calm him down so he can win this race.
Again, it's James Bubba Stewart's debut here at Daytona, which he coincided with the debut of the event under the lights. Very big excitement. A lot of fans in the stand for James Bubba Stewart, who has tons of fans in the stands as he enters the white flag final lap here in the 125 main. Ralph Shaheen?
And one of the things that's helping Bubba Stewart is what's taking place behind the scenes back in the transporter. Team manager Mark Johnson is on his second tour of duty here in the Supercross ranks after spending some time in the Champ Car World Series Tour. While he was over there, he learned a lot about advanced technologies and that sort of thing. He brought organizational styles from that series and technology back over to here, including shock specialists and a lot more engineering to the team, and they've put a lot of that into Bubba's bike, and that's why it handles as well as it does, both in the air and on the ground.
Well, you got to give a lot of credit to the young man that we call the throttle management system. The software on that green number 259 is really putting on a show out here, and we can hardly wait to see what kind of show he puts on when he gets off that bike and after it's all over.
We could see a smurf, a little wavo, maybe a bump or something like that. But Bubba Stewart is going to be a rider to bring Kawasaki back-to-back wins. We saw Mike Brown win last year in the highlight. Now James Stewart running away with this 2004 125 Supercross.
Here he comes to that high bank right-hand berm. He's got a little bump section to go through the ruts that Greg White and Ralph Shaheen were talking about, and then it's all finish line for James Bubba Stewart. Win number 4 of the 2004 season. He's done it in front of his home fans at Daytona under the lights. James Bubba Stewart wins again.
Davey Millsaps with a very, very strong finish. You can see him back there. He's got a couple turns to go. There's Big James, very proud papa. Now let's see what kind of dance he breaks out this time.
Well, he's going to have to wait just a little while for a few riders to finish as he heads over to what we expect will be his celebration zone. Finishing in second position should be young David Millsaps, and what a proud moment he's going to have as well, because 14th and 21st place finishes are going to pale pretty seriously in comparison to a runner-up finish at Daytona for this young man, David Millsaps, in only his third Supercross event.
Very proud of him. You know, he's done a lot of hard work. His family's behind him 100%, and also Ronnie Tishner. So those guys, they've done a great job. Now Bubba's going to get out there and hollow. He's painting a circle in the hollow Daytona ground, so see what he's going to do. Is he signing it? What's uh-oh, he's writing Bubba.
And he's on the A for the record. He is just the D, then the A of Daytona. That's where James Bubba Stewart is working a little bit of spray can magic here. What's he got going on?
Looks like he's writing a Dale Earnhardt number 3. No, now he wrote the 3, now he's going to break dance on it. Let's see what he's got for it. He's definitely not a graffiti artist.
Well, he is on hallowed ground with the most hallowed of numbers. James Bubba Stewart bringing the crowd to its feet. And that was Ralph Shaheen is right there with him now.
Bubba loves to play the crowd. The people from Fox, they give him a helmet to throw it into the crowd. Whoever makes the most noise. You know, Bubba has played the crowd, you know, miraculously, just like when he races. So he's going to go out there, find out who's the loudest one, give him his helmet. And it's a great sign by Fox and also by Bubba to give something back to the crowd.
He's got to make his way over to the fans that paid the extra $10. Apparently he had picked out somebody earlier, and he went right over and handed a young fan a helmet And that's going to be a very exciting memento that my broadcast partner RJ started up that little bit of ceremony. Let's go to Ralph Shaheen. I think he's finally cornered the young man who won this race.
Wow, that was impressive. How about all these folks back here playing up to your fans? Let's first talk about the start. You and I chatted about that right after the heat race. How important, how you got through that first turn berm. Take us through that again.
Yeah, I got a good jump. I kind of spun off the grass over there, but you know, the crowd was out here gracing. You know, I just rolled around the inside, and you know, I knew once I got out front it was mine. And you know, it's a little hard to see out here tonight, so you know, just kind of took it easy. But it was a fun race. It was a long race.
How long had you been planning this victory celebration out here?
A lot. Did a number 3. You know, to appreciate. I'm really sorry about Dale Earnhardt. You know, I just want to appreciate. You know, it's my first time here, and I did a number 3 in the Daytona for him. So, you know, I love you guys, and thank you a lot.
You know, Bubba, there's one thing we didn't see was a dance. You got one for us?
That was kind of my victory dance right there. It was fun, you know. I'm having a good time.
Well, the crowd is apparently having a great time with them. Look at how into it these folks are to the man that is sweeping the Supercross scene by storm, James Bubba Stewart, Brian.
And he is bringing a whole other generation of young fans. Did you notice how many youngsters were along the fence there to congratulate James Bubba Stewart on his 4th win in the 2004 season? 125 winner. Congratulations.